This is the plaintiff, Morgan Rookstool. She says she babysat for the defendant's 2 kids, and the woman was very difficult to get along with, to say the least. One day she got mad and accused her of telling her kids to eat poop. The defendant is a hothead who blew everything out of proportion, and she quit. Now she's having one heck of a time collecting the money she's owed, and is suing the wacky defendant for the $135 she's owed. This is the defendant, Dawn Brooke. She says the plaintiff was not very good at her job and didn't follow her rules. She even cranked the air conditioner on high with all the windows open. The plaintiff ended up quitting via text the day before work without any notice and said she'd call the cops on her if she didn't pay up. Oh, her money? No way. She's accused of butting heads with a babysitter.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Morgan Rookstool, you are suing Dawn Brooke for $135 of babysitting that you say you provided for her children that she has not paid you for. Tell me what's going on.
So I started working for Mrs. Brooke on June 15th was my first day. It didn't last very long working for her. She was very nice the first time I met her. Everything went wonderful. We went there on the June 9th to meet. He went with me. It was all good.
Where were you going to be babysitting?
I babysat at her house.
And how many children? 2. And you were going to be able to bring your baby as well?
Yes.
How old's your baby?
He will be 2 October 3rd.
Okay. And how old are her kids?
She has a 4-year-old and a 7-year-old.
Okay.
So they were both there. Everything was fine. I mean, then we would get into problems. Like the first time I worked for her, I asked her to write me a guideline. Like when we went and we met her, I asked her to write a guideline because I told her, if there's an emergency, the kids can come stay at my house. I have a guest bedroom, they can come here. If I'm going to be your babysitter, I'm going to go all out and be your babysitter. You can call me whenever. So I told her, I just need a guideline because I don't know you. I don't know your kids. I need a schedule. I don't know anything that you do. I never got a schedule, none of that. So I asked her to do that, and it was like she would come home, she would text me, she would just be rude about everything. And I told my mother-in-law, I said, next time she's rude to me, I can't take this anymore.
Is that just the way she is? She's rude, or was it something
according
specific
to
against
her
you?
husband, she's not a people's person. That's what her husband said to me.
Okay.
She's not a people, because I tried going to him. I tried everything that I could do to.
How was she being rude?
Do you want to see the messages I have? I have plenty. Now, I also have a contract here from us. I mean, just like the one time. Now, I cleaned our house. I did all these things. It's just like, these are just text messages.
Is that the transcript from the phone company, or is that something you wrote?
No, that was from my email, but I can give you my phone with everything on it.
Yeah. Put up the ones you want me to see.
What ones do you want to?
You just said she was very rude to me.
Okay.
Can you just give me an example?
Like the one time I told her I didn't have proper safety in my car, so I couldn't take my car to pick her kids up from camp. Her 7-year-old went to a camp during the week, and she started flipping out saying she would need to find a new babysitter in the first beginning.
Why didn't you have the proper equipment in your car?
Well, I was supposed to be using her car to pick up the kids.
Okay.
And I told her that he used my car and got my seatbelt. It got stuck underneath the seat. So I told her that I couldn't find the seatbelt or whatever, and I didn't have enough safety I didn't want the 7-year-old to be in the front seat. My son's still in the car seat, and her 4-year-old was in a car seat. So I asked her what to do. I still never got an answer what to do if, I needed to use the car in an emergency.
Right, but whose car was supposed to be used for this purpose?
Hers.
She was supposed to give you a car as well?
I was supposed
to use for babysitting?
Yeah, to pick up her kid for camp.
On one day or all the time?
Just the days I had to pick him up.
Okay, how was she rude to you?
The one time there was sunscreen missing, and I wasn't responsible. I was letting the kids play with chemical. Then the next day she told me not to come back. Like she told me, chemical had to be above here. I come back the next day, there's, the sunscreen bucket on the ground. It's just like every little thing I did, she wanted to bite off my neck at. It's just I could never win with her. On July 23rd, I worked the 20th and the 22nd that she owes me for. July 23rd, I got a text message from her freaking out saying, why would you tell a child he needs to eat a poopy diaper, and I tried explaining to her what happened, and she just...
What was it that happened?
I had a problem with her kids always looking at my son getting changed, and I would ask him to go in the playroom, grab a toy, or, you know, bring a blanket, and I would cover my son up while I changed him, because I just feel like nobody should, you know, be staring at somebody that just seems a little weird to me. So I asked her, I said, you know, while we're on this topic, can you talk to your kids to, you know, not stare at my son anymore? Well, she said that
You're the babysitter, you should be able to handle that. But anyway, so go ahead.
So she said that I told the kids supposedly to eat the diaper as chocolate pudding for dinner.
What?
Yeah, my son's poopy diaper.
Wait, I don't know what you're saying. So who said what?
I told the kids supposedly to eat.
Did you?
No. What had happened?
But she accused you of doing that?
What had happened was I was changing my son. He had poop, and the 4-year-old said, "Are we going to make Maddie eat that when he's done?" I said,
Who's Maddie?
My son.
Okay.
I said, "Oh yeah," and then when Maddie gets done, we all can finish it. And they all started laughing. The 7-year-old said to the 4-year-old, "You got to eat it first." He got upset, and I said, "Guys, we really can't eat poop. We'll die from it." The 4-year-old then said, "Oh, I know it has chemicals in it. We can't eat poop." And I was like, it was fine. Done there, no poopy and no nothing. I asked her, I said, "Do you really think..."
Am I really here?
Thank you.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So do mothers get crazy when they have small kids? Are you a mother, first of all?
I am.
Okay, so you're qualified.
I am. 2 times.
Did you get crazy?
Yes, absolutely. Even if it was my mother watching my children, I felt a little overprotective, not really, you know, it's your children.
At what age do you just kind of relax? 23, right?
Maybe never, but yeah, I guess 23.
What do you think? Do mothers get crazy?
They get very crazy. You got to watch out for these mothers out here.
This guy's nodding like he knows.
I think they do get, they get crazy because it's a very scary society. You never know who the babysitter is. You never know who actually is watching the children. So you have to be protective and a little crazy at times.
It could be Sissy Spacek, which was the most awesome movie ever, right? Going inside the courtroom.
So tell me how you quit or you get fired. What happens?
I quit. After that, like we just kept texting over and forth, and then
Do you have any of the texts?
I have it all. Yeah, I have it all from when I first started working from her.
Can I see some of the texts that you think show that she's abusive or whatever?
Yeah.
How is it you quit, and why is it you quit?
Over a text message, and because
What text message?
Oh, it will be up here for you. I'm the white, she's the blue, and I just told her, I said, I think it's best we go, you know, separate ways. It's not working anymore. I met her in June, and I traveled from PA to Jersey to work for her, and every single thing I did, she bit at my hand. Like, it was a lose.
I'm sorry, where do you want me to start? This is on July 23rd.
Yes, I pulled you up to the one where I quit.
Okay. You are which one?
I'm white.
You're
she's
white
blue.
and she's blue. Let me hear from you. Why shouldn't you pay her those 2 days she worked?
Do you want to hear the whole story?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we agreed on $10 an hour if she used her own car and $8 an hour if she used mine. We did have conversations via text message. We also had conversations on Facebook as well as in person. So there may not be a full record of every conversation that we had. However, for most of the time when she needed to pick up my son from camp, she was using my car because of her middle seat missing, and I still paid her the $10 even though we agreed $8 if she used my car. She did allow the children to play with toxic chemicals. The one day with the can of sunscreen that she mentioned, I asked her where it may be, and she said the last time she saw it, the kids had it in the living room on the floor near the sofa. The can of sunscreen never turned up, and it wasn't the only thing that's been missing from my home. On 2 separate occasions, I spent over 15 minutes writing out a schedule and rules for my children that she never followed. The duration of the time that she was babysitting for me, there were 3 occasions when I came home and the air conditioner was turned on, even though every window in the house was on. I ended up having to hide the remote control for it. She did bring her son with her, which we agreed on was okay, but instead of asking them to go pick up a toy or whatever it was that she mentioned, she would banish the children to their bedroom or outside whenever her child needed his diaper changed. So my children felt like they were being treated like outsiders in their own
So why didn't you get rid of her? She quit on you.
Because I was asked to have faith.
What does that mean?
I trusted the person that referred her to me, and I was continuing to have faith that she would.
How long did she work for you?
About a month and a half.
So, but why don't you pay her the days that she worked that you hadn't paid her?
Because the time that she was with me, she was overpaid. I mean, I worked for a very large restaurant that served dessert. She asked me to bring something home for her and deduct it from the pay. There were times she asked me to stop and get her cigarettes. I would do that. I was supposed to deduct it from her pay, and I never did.
Okay, but so you decide to give your caretaker a little gift here of cigarettes or a little gift there of a dessert. But how am I'm supposed to now nickel and dime it out of 2 days' pay? I mean, because you're not questioning whether she worked those days. You're questioning what? That you kind of wish you didn't hire her because you don't like her because you guys got into the snit? The two of you back and forth and back and forth. I see what she's saying. You do treat her like she's some kind of slave in your house. So if you think that just because somebody's in the job of taking care of your children, you can kind of, maybe you just talk to them. People tell me I talk that way. So I highly, highly suggest you get a show in your own robe. But until then, you have to, no, but listen to me. You have to know how to talk to people. And if, whether it's this person or the next person, this is someone who's co-mothering with you. They're with your kid a lot of the day. You want somebody who's happy with your kids, happy with you, and happy working there. You can't just snip. And let me just say, this is not a form of communication, okay?
It's a headache.
No, it's the devil incarnate, okay? It's garbage. When it's important, you don't text somebody, because if you text me, you could be texting me, I don't know why you always do this. There's no reason to be nasty. Or you could be texting me, I don't know why you always do this. There's no reason to be nasty. I don't know what you're saying. So I'm going to put my own spin on it. It's just bad. This is why we're here. But the reasons that you're giving me are not a reason.
May I continue?
Yeah, but continue. There's more. Okay.
Yeah, there's more. I've been told by several of my neighbors, as well as my landlord, who would periodically stop by, that my children were left outside unattended to play. I have no idea where she was at the time.
When did your landlord tell you that you wouldn't have fired her and called child services? Because I can't help but notice she quit on you.
I know. I was in a very, very bad situation.
Oh, so it was okay if she left a 4-year-old unattended outside?
No, ma'am.
No, it makes it sound like you're completely making stuff up to not pay her. You know what? I'm done with you. $135 verdicts for the plaintiff.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, so this is the defendant losing this case and not looking good while doing it. What's your reaction to this?
Well, I didn't get to give my whole side of the story. If I had, then, maybe she would have had a different idea. Spending $1,000 on my electric bill because my air conditioner was left on while my windows were open is a little bit ridiculous.
All right, you think you're a little bit hard to work for?
I don't. I've been a waitress for 20 years. If I wasn't a people person, I'd be broke.
Okay. All right, right down this way.
Thank you very much.
All right, step on in here. And when did you first know this wasn't going to work?
The second time I met her. I knew it wasn't. She was just always disrespectful, and she nitpicked at every little thing. So I told my mother-in-law over here that next time she was nasty to me, I was done and I was leaving. She lies about everything.
Well, why'd you take the job in the first place?
My aunt used to work with her, so my aunt referred me, and I felt like I had to do, not had to do it, but I didn't work.
The first time you met her, you didn't have a feeling?
Oh, she was so nice, so sweet, put this little bubbly act on, and then she's turning into the devil. I was like,
Harvey?
Get out of here.
So real quick, if you get stiffed on your salary, most states have a labor commission, and they can actually resolve these disputes short of going to court. It's the State Labor Commission. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.